What's up, Internet? This is Michael. I want to give a review of the automatic link. It's $99.95, and you can pick it up at Apple stores on their actual website. I think it's available on Amazon. I've seen a couple on eBay. The automatic link works with most cars from 1996 or newer, and it works with your ODB2 port on the car. And what it does is it connects your phone via Bluetooth 4.0 to your car. And it does a couple of different features. One thing before we get in depth on those features, the Bluetooth 4.0 alone is really worthwhile. Compared to previous Bluetooth, it's going to do far less damage on your battery. It's also going to allow you to use more than one device simultaneously. I'm not sure if Bluetooth 3 allowed that, but I know that I can link my phone to my car via Bluetooth to play music and also to my automatic to keep track of things. So the automatic does four different data sets that it keeps track of to help you monitor how you use your car. The first and the most obvious is it actually keeps track of how you drive your car to tell you how well you're saving money on gas. How it does that is it keeps track of 3 different points. So the first one would be how fast you're stopping. So if you come up to a stop sign, it's way too fast, it's going to dock you points on a scale of 1 to 100 as far as an overall score. The second one would be rapid acceleration. So if you floor it after that light turns green, you're going to get docked as well. The third one, and probably my least favorite one, is if you go over 70 miles an hour. So this is my first big complaint about the automatic. It's not that 70 miles an hour is a bad thing. It just, if you live in a major city that has speed limits close to 70 miles an hour, chances are you're going to go over 70. Living in San Diego, I go 75 typically on the highway because I'm trying to get places quicker. Although I know that going 70 or slower than 70 is going to be more economical, sometimes you just want to get there faster. So I wish I could just change that setting depending on where I live and where I'm at, because for me it would be great if it would alert me if I'm going over 75, because I don't really want to go over 75, and I'm okay with a little bit crappier gas mileage. So that's probably my biggest actual complaint overall for the automatic. To give you an idea really quick on those 3 data sets, what happens is if you speed up too fast, if you come to a brake too fast, or if you go over 70 too often, it will actually beep. It has like a really high-pitched beep, not like shrieking or something like that, but a nice high pitch that you can actually hear over conversation, over music if it's not too loud. So it's nice because it cuts through any sound you may have in the car, so you actually can hear and know that you are messing up. So I really like how it reports it all, and we'll go over in a minute all the different things you can see in the app. The second thing that it does is if you're in an accident, it will actually call somebody from automatic will notice that the airbags have been deployed on your car, and they'll actually call you and make sure you're okay. If you don't answer, they'll notify local authorities to come check you out and all that good stuff. Initially, when this was being before it actually launched, initially it was actually going to call fire and police and emergency vehicles and all that good stuff if your airbag's deployed. I'm kind of glad that they tweaked this a little bit, and I think they probably tweaked it for this exact reason. All I could think about when they said that feature is, what if you, like, I don't know, bumped a telephone pole and your airbag was extra touchy and deployed, and all of a sudden you've got police and fire showing up because you slightly nudged a telephone pole. Not that I'm condoning if you hit a telephone pole and took off leaving, but it would definitely inhibit your ability to do that if they had left the feature as is. So good job, Automatic, on changing that and making it a little bit more sensible. The third, and I think the most valuable as far as where your dollars go, feature of the automatic is if you get a check engine light on your car, it will actually push notify your phone and tell you what's wrong with your car. So most mechanics charge like $20 to $30 to plug a machine into your car and tell you what's wrong with it. I've heard that some AutoZones and auto parts stores will do it for free because then they think you're going to buy the part. But the bottom line is, whether it's $20 to $30 or free, I still don't have to go anywhere to have it checked, which saves you time. So you might find out that you just need an oil change, which you already knew, and then you didn't have to go early to the mechanic, whatever. It saves you time and potentially a couple of bucks. So that right there, I think, is a very beneficial feature. And it potentially could train you to have better driving habits. I know in the 2+ months I've owned it, I feel like I'm not stopping as fast or speeding up as fast. I'm aware of it a lot more. So let's open it up and take a look. So I'll show you the inside. It's got a nice little picture of the app. It's not super big. I would compare it to the Square credit card reader if you're familiar with that. It's significantly bigger than the Square credit card reader, but it doesn't weigh very much. It's super, not that matters. You're not going to be carrying it around, fortunately. My favorite feature of the whole thing is actually the instruction guide, which is just as tiny as the actual device itself, and it's very in-depth. It says download the app and plug in the device, which this made me laugh a lot when I got it, because it should have just put a sticker on the thing that says download the app. The instruction guide's in the app, so it's just kind of silly. So really quick, I'm going to grab the actual app and go through some of its features. And it's still bugging me for the crash alert. It wants my phone number. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll add it later. So I don't drive much, so I'll give you that warning up ahead that it's going to give me better scores than most people, just because I drive I pay like $60 a month in gas, and I mostly drive on streets that are like 25 to 35 miles an hour, so not much issues there. So this is what the app looks like, and we can see up here my score right now for this week, which is Sunday, so it's not been very many days. My score is 100. I've driven 2.6 miles, took 21 minutes total. My MPG is 20.8, so not great. But like I said, we're talking city. And I've spent 46 cents approximately on gas. That one's a little bit interesting. I would like to know where they're pulling that dollar amount. I'd be really interested to know if it's using GPS and locating the closest gas station to my house. I wish I could actually tweak that and put in what I paid per gallon per tank, and it would remember, and then I could change it as I go to fill up again, just to get a better accuracy. So from there, it's difficult to do this upside down. We go to last week because there's a little bit more data. So from here, I can actually tap on on each segment of my trip for last week. It'll show me on a map where I went. I can scroll down and I can compare them. So last week I got a 94, pretty good, 21.4 miles per gallon, 51.7 miles total, 4 hours and 20 minutes of driving time. Cost me a whopping $9.06. It seems like they've pushed out some updates, because initially I was getting a report of 32 miles per gallon most of the time when I was driving, and my car, as far as I remember when I bought it, its max is 32 miles per gallon, like its average. So unless I'm driving perfectly, I can't imagine that to be accurate. But it looks like they've tweaked it, because I'm no longer seeing in the 30s. I'm seeing more in the low 20s, which seems a lot more sensible to me. So real quick, let's go back up. So right here in the top left, you see a little engine outline, and I imagine that would light up if I did have an engine problem. I haven't had the check engine light go off on my car, which is a good thing. So I haven't gotten to use this feature. I can't say I'm excited to use this feature, because then that means there's something wrong with my car, but I am excited to see how well the app works when that happens. It even has an option to see nearby mechanics, which I'm assuming is tapping into Yelp. Yep, it is, because it's got all the star reviews and shows me all those places, which is a nice little feature. And then we've got, on the other side of the app right here, we've got a little person, and we can go through, tweak all of our stuff. If it missed a trip, I can report a problem, see customer community stuff. Here's where I wanted to talk about a tweak I'd like to see. So audio feedback. So this is for the 3 things it's watching. There we go. I had to turn off speeding, if you can see. And the reason I had to turn off speeding is because if I go over 70, it beeps at me constantly, like literally every 45 seconds, maybe every 60 seconds. So right here, automatic, if you're watching, just add a little option for 70, 75, 80, I guess, I don't know, and make me acknowledge that I know it's going to drop my fuel economy. I don't really care that much about the fraction of a mile per gallon it's going to change by going 72 miles an hour over 70. So it would just be really nice. One thing that's really nice too is the automatic will work with more than one car. So At least the app will. I don't know. I don't have more than one car to try this. I'm imagining, though, that I can use the same automatic. Oh, just kidding. I'm reading right here. You need more than one link. If you have more than one car, you need more than one link. That being said, the same app will work with all of them, and I think multiple phones will work with all of them too. So if you've got like a wife, she can keep track of her driving, and you can keep track of yours, and then you guys can fight over who's the worst driver and actually have proof. That's fun. And I think that's about it. So overall, I think the automatic is fantastic. The $99.95 is pushing it a little bit. I'd like to see it more down in the $70 range. I think that's about what I paid for it pre-order, and it seems a little bit more realistic. But if you figure, if it costs you $30 to have your check engine light checked, and you have a crappy car, and you get that check engine light 3 times a year, it would pay for itself in a year, on top of the miles per gallon you would save. So, I strongly recommend trying it. It's at Apple stores. Apple stores have a great return policy, so you can actually try it, buy it, and return it if you didn't like it. The setup was a breeze. You pair it just like a Jawbone Bluetooth. I did notice when I first was plugging it in, it wasn't registering it was plugged in the car. I had to do that a couple of times, but once it saw the car, it was super easy. So, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed this review.